a young man seeking freedom and democracy, has chosen to become a secret agent of the Chinese Communist Party. After doing its dirty work for 15 years, he suddenly fled China and announced to the world the evil deeds of the CCP's secret overseas services. Who is he? Why did he do it? Welcome to China Insights. On May 13th, the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, ABC, released an exclusive. After fleeing to Australia, he disclosed to the media a large number of the CCP's infiltration, entrapment, and failure was shaken by what he revealed. Dissidents, although overseas already, are still attacked by these CCP agents in their respective cities and are even met with suspicious and accidental deaths. All these are closely related to the overseas operations of the CCP secret agents. Eric, aged 39, used to be a secret agent working for the first bureau of the Ministry of Public Security in China as a covert agent in the Ministry of Public Security. Last winter, he fled Australia, and after entering the country, he voluntarily revealed his identity to the Australian Security Intelligence Organization, ASIO, and contacted the ABC investigative program, providing hundreds of secret documents, newsletters. He said the escape was the most dangerous mission of his career. Surprisingly, before becoming a secretic society. That is, until the CCP state police approached him. Whether in mainland China or overseas, Chinese people can be asked to have tea, meaning to be detained for interrogation or even persecuted by the public security authorities because of sensitive comments or political concerns. They are all aware of a notorious branch of the CCP's public security system, the State Security Bureau, SBP. This is the abbreviation for Internal Security and Defense. Now, this department has been renamed the Department of Political Security and Defense, or Political Security for short, since the serial number of the Political Security Department in the Ministry of Public Security is Bureau 1. The corresponding state security or political security department at all levels of the public security system below the Ministry of Public Security is called Division 1 or Section 1. This is a huge system of secret police in the CCP regime, stretching from the central to the local level.
Today, it's still the darkest department of Chinese government. 政保的话，他们就是兼具这两个功能，就有点像克格勃呀、斯塔西啊、盖世太保，他们既具有侦查的权利、搜集这些情报的权利，同时他们也有执法的权利。
In 2007, Eric was a 22-year-old college student. Because he sought freedom and democracy, he joined the Chinese Social Democratic Party, which was founded in the United States. Later, he was targeted for posting sensitive information on social media, and public security officers came to his door, took him away to make a difference by working as a secret overseas agent for the CCP. Not wanting to go to prison, he was forced to accept and began a series of overseas espionage missions in 2008. His main job was to infiltrate overseas pro-democracy organizations and to approach and trap overseas dissidents that the CCP hates. The ABC's investigative news program, Four Corners, released an exclusive documentary revealing in detail how Eric used various means around the world to track down and get close to overseas dissidents critical of the CCP and Xi Jinping and engineered their entrapment and secret abduction back to the mainland. According to Eric's account, he has been involved in several covert operations against prominent overseas figures. One of them took place in 2016. Eric infiltrated a gathering in Dharamsala in northern India, where the Tibetan government in exile is located. Under the cover of a dissident, he met with the Dalai Lama and posed for a group photo. He then submitted an intelligence report to his superiors detailing future policy toward the CCP, which the Tibetan government in exile considered confidential. This intelligence was praised within the Ministry of Public Security. Later in Southeast Asia for the next step in his disposal. In 2015, the Causeway Bay bookstore in Hong Kong was preparing to publish a book entitled Xi Jinping and His Mistresses. It turned out that the owner of the bookstore and the staff were all kidnapped to China by the Chinese government. The owner, Lam Wing-Ki, has recently gone into exile in Taiwan and doesn't dare to return to Hong Kong. One of the people involved in the case, Gui Minhai, was a naturalized Swedish citizen who was lured to Thailand and secretly kidnapped, and then made a public statement claiming that he was willingly returning to China to surrender, which caused a big stir. In 2023, the Australian Federal Police raided a Sydney location and dismantled a CCP intelligence stronghold and obtained information indicating Ke previous were CCP agents.
我这个手，前面2下打在手上，第3拳就是完整的就是打到鼻子上。
Eric disclosed in an exclusive interview that he has no doubt that covert CCP agents are currently operating in Australia and that there is definitely already a network of pro-communist organizations and corporations in Australia, which are responsible for providing systematic support to CCP agents operating in their respective regions. Among the operationists, perverted chili pepper back to mainland China. In Li Ming, the perverted chili pepper, who was living in Japan at the time, and used a job offer as a creative director with a good salary as bait to arrange for a job interview with Wang Li-ming in Cambodia. Wang Li-ming was moved by the offer and didn't suspect a thing before handing him over to state security. However, at the last minute, the head of state security in charge of the operation gave up because it was unprecedented to kidnap a hostage from Taiwan back to mainland China. The consequences of the diplomatic and political shocks that could result from this were unpredictable, and they didn't want to take the risk of being held accountable and losing their jobs. As for Wang Li-ming, he confessed that if the CCP agents really carried out this plan in Taiwan, he would have definitely thrown himself into the net because he could never have imagined that the CCP would be so crazy as to send its agents to carry out a political kidnapping directly in Taiwan. This is something that the Taiwan police might never have dreamed of. So what is the origin of this Prince Holding Group? It was originally founded in Cambodia by Chen Zhi, a businessman from China. In less than a decade, the Prince Group has become one of joined the core group of the militia organization. After he settled down in Vancouver, Eric submitted a comprehensive intelligence report on him to his superiors, covering his phone number, address, places he traveled, and people he met. In 2022, Hua Yang was found drowned after he went out on a rubber raft alone on a cold fall night. Wang Li-ming has also publicly called for a new investigation into Hua Yang's death on the X platform. Hi. To Yin Ke. To the perverted chili pepper, Wang Li-ming. All of them are dissidents who mainly target Xi Jinping for privacy revelations or satirical vilification. Among them, the accidental death of Hua Yang is odd. Hua Yang didn't specifically attack Xi Jinping. How come he ended up dead? Obvious that the CCP's secret agents have a very mature routine of disguising themselves as pro-democracy activists to carry out espionage. This is especially true when it comes to coercing pro-democracy activists they are recruited and used. Even though Eric has worked for the CCP for 15 years and has been exposed to many core secrets, it's inconceivable that an editor to being prey targeted by the CCP. Battle is about to begin. Thank you for watching China Insights. See you next time.